What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Marriott. Tonight we are going to be talking to Eric Robinson. Okay, you do not want to miss this episode. We're going to be talking about mental health in the prison system. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
It's your time to renew, rebuild, and restore. Let's go.
Welcome to Rebirth. I'm your host, Shay Marriott. Happy Monday, everybody.
Hey, happy Monday, Shay. I'm your boy, Eli Isabel, a.k.a. The South. Got something to say? What's good,
Yes, what's good? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It was a beautiful day today. I'm blessed and highly favored and glad to be sitting here in one piece. It's been a day.
Working for you today.
Listen, yes. I need all the, amens and prayers and all of that right now. It has been a challenging day, but I am here. I just want to say thank you for everyone that has been waiting for us to come on tonight. Everything that could have happened to try to stop us from being live tonight did, but God saw otherwise, and we are here. So thank you guys for your patience.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Shay, listen, since we are a little delayed, man, we're going to have to get right into it. But prior to that, we have an awesome video for you guys. For everybody who came out to our Rebirth meetup, thank you so much. I know we've said it before, but it's always worth saying again. Thank you guys for supporting us, coming out. You guys are family, and we love to see you guys. It's hugs, it's laughter, it's emotion. It's all of these things rolled up into one. So we want to thank you guys for always sharing of yourself with Shay and I.
Yes, for sure. So we actually do have a clip of everything that happened at the Rebirth meetup. If you was not there, I'm going to say it again. Shame on you. You missed a really good time. But this is what you missed. And just be prepared because we are coming back on February 8th for another Rebirth meetup. Okay? So check this clip out. What an awesome time was had that night. We really had a great time. Everybody showed up and showed out.
That's right.
What was your favorite thing about the Rebirth community?
Just people getting to know each other. There were a lot of people in there that knew each other, and then there were people in there that were complete strangers. They either came alone, which is one young lady I spoke to, or they came with one other person. So low key forcing them into a situation where they had to learn about a person that they didn't know. I thought it was still.
Yeah, you did a really good job.
What about you?
Yeah, so I love the fact that we got a chance to do our podcast for like a good 30 minutes, and we had intimate conversation with everybody that came, and people were very vulnerable. They were open. Nobody was, like being rude or disrespectful. I think everybody's opinion was respected, and it just gave the sense of intimacy there of sharing. So that was really my favorite part. Of course, we have these conversations for Rebirth Live,
right?
But this particular event, this meetup, we only invited a certain amount of people, and we're keeping the audience small for the Rebirth meetup because we do want it up close and personal.
Right.
So it definitely gave that intimate vibe, and everybody had a great time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And shout out to the Black excellence that was in the room.
Oh yeah.
All of the therapists.
Yes.
We had a judge.
Yes.
A Black physician. There's us.
Yeah.
So just shout out to everybody who came through, man, and supported the Rebirth. All the entrepreneurs and people who are established nonprofits or have them already established. Shout out to you guys also.
Yeah, and shout out to Brielle Michelle. She did excellent. Everybody really loved the candles. So shout out to her company, as well as BKL, who also had supported. And the young lady that did the cupcakes for Rebirth, she was also a sponsor. What was her name?
Caked Up by Jess.
Caked Up by Jess. Yeah, I didn't want to miss her. I didn't want to leave her out. So we just love and appreciate everybody that participate, everybody that sponsored in some way. And shout out to my team, to Jen, to Eli, to Corey, to Michelle. Everybody just really came together. Shout out to Shannon.
Yes, sir.
He just jumped right in and helped. I feel blessed and I felt the love, and that's how we should.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, that's how we should come together and hold each other up. So, with that being said, tonight, this gentleman, I'm going to let you introduce him, but this gentleman right here was introduced to me last year by Michelle Washington. And she spoke very highly of this gentleman. And let me tell you, he did not disappoint.
Never does.
He did not disappoint. I highly respect him, highly admire him, and admire the work that he's doing, in the community. And he's just an all-around genuine guy. Absolutely. So I'm going to let you formally introduce him, but I just needed to say that.
So Rebirth family, and I'm going to add to that. Rebirth family, listen, this gentleman right here, I haven't been around. It's a handful of people I can maybe count on one hand that I feel like I learned when I'm in their presence.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if he knows the power that he has. But when he's just speaking, he's teaching.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, listen, coming to the Rebirth show for the first time ever. He's been on live.
He's been at our Rebirth Live.
But here
at our Rebirth meetup.
Yeah. He, like Shay said, he never disappoints. He's always dropping nuggies, man. Please welcome Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
What's up, good brother?
What's good? How y'all tonight?
Oh man, we good, man. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good, man. Cannot complain, man. Cannot complain.
Listen, man. Thank you for once again doing what you do. At the Rebirth meetup. Again, you never disappoint. You always have some wisdom for us, man. And we just so appreciate you, brother. So thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Eric, CEO of J2M Consulting. Talk a little bit about that.
So I've worked in various roles, either clinical or managerial in the clinical field since 2000, maybe 8 or 9. Of course, started in a frontline position. I've worked in correctional settings, IOP, OP, psychiatric hospitals. And during that time, I got a vast amount of experience, everything from facilitating domestic violence groups, which would be considered the perpetrator men, to being able to do in-prison programs and training and things of that nature. It helped me realize, as you just mentioned, that my power is not in really working for other people, but my power is in collaborating with other people and bringing a certain synergy to what we do.
Yeah.
Wow.
For sure. Yeah. So I know that, of course, we know you. We know you. We know how awesome you are, and we know your story. So just so we can start off, so people get to know a little bit about you. Can you start your story off? Can you share your story with our audience about who you are, what your experience has been, and what brought you to this journey of, now having your own business and, the work that you're doing in the community?
So I don't say it a lot, but the reality is J2M actually is a acronym, and it stands for From Jail Cells to Mansions. A part of my history, like many men that look like me, includes a significant period of incarceration. I pretty much grew up on the north side of Wilmington, loving basketball, loving football, swimming at PS DuPont, and things of that nature. But I always was kind of a strong-willed kid. Grew up in a one-parent household. I think my dad, which I guess I came to learn as I got older. Wanted to be a part of my life, but I don't know if he had the skills to actually be effective in my life. So there's
Mhm.
kind of this narrative where we want to know about people's business, but in order to really know someone's business, you got to be willing to understand their pain and what drives them. So
Right.
pretty much what happened to me is when I was around 18 and 19 years old, I got into a pretty bad accident at work. I fell off of some scaffolding, ruptured a couple discs in my lower back, and I couldn't stand for some time. Like I could stand up, but not stand up straight. That led to me getting some lawsuit money at a young age. Of course, I'm young. I'm not really good at managing money. I blow through the money pretty rapidly. Next thing I
Mhm.
know, I'm somewhere partying with a bunch of guys, and the guy says something like, "Hey, let's go to Aramingo." And me being
Oh, wow.
absolutely, me being young, I'm like, Aramingo, why
Yep.
not? So so before I know it, I'm hitting the highways and byways, and it went from, I guess, all the trauma I had in my life that I never addressed when I got introduced to
Mhm.
street culture. It just seemed to fit and make sense to me. So within
Mhm.
it making sense to me, I went from looking for productive opportunities to work to, like, I just felt more comfortable in my own skin at that stage of my life, being out there with everybody else kind of railing against and bucking the system. Today, I would kind of say I was trying to do the meritocracy thing, pull myself up by my bootstraps, kind of even the playing field. But the reality is, I probably had, I guess when rappers talk about it, I think I had like 5 hot summers where I thought I was really doing something significant out there in them streets. Led to me getting a 20 plus year prison sentence when I went to jail, which was impactful for me. And I guess it's where I caught the counseling or clinical bug. I come from a family that's very service oriented. All the women in my family do community
Mhm.
based work. They're kind of, I guess, therapists in their own right without being formally educated. So of course, in jail, you want to get into a program, get some of your time shaved off. But I would kind of be in the programs, and I was the guy that was the cynic. So I'm like nitpicking with the staff, creating issues because I'm young, and it's like I'm poking fun at everything. Like, you're not helping anybody. And around that time, I experienced 7 deaths in 20 months. So one of
Wow.
the losses I experienced was my 11-year-old sister who died tragically in Hurricane Floyd. I was locked down in the prison during that time. When I actually called home, my sister was found and pronounced dead on my birthday. And I actually got an opportunity to go to her services. My family paid for it. And there's some things connected to it. Like, I had nitpicked with some of the staff there so much that they had a very adverse reaction to me taking me, threatened my life, attempted to
Oh,
cause
wow.
physical harm to me. So it was a pretty tenuous situation. But for me, it was pivotal. I got into Congo Funeral Home over on, I think it's either Grays Avenue or Ferry Street or something like
Right.
that. It was kind of, I was awestruck, I would say. My sister at 11 years old had 110 civic ribbons for her engagement of people in the community. Was
Wow.
deafening for me on an internal level because it was like, man, I didn't even take the time to get to realize I had an angel in my life, and I blew an
Mhm.
opportunity. Of course, the conflict I was experiencing with the officers that had transitioned me led to me kind of getting into a squabble with them. And one of the most important things I learned in my life is that I can't allow anyone to take my power regardless of what position that I'm in. And I actually never prayed, made peace or anything, went back with a lot of anger. And it's the first time I kind of understood the exact nature of mental health because I had a catatonic break in jail. So I slipped from reality when I came back. For about a week straight, I was just on a bunk slobbering, not really connected to time, place, anything like that. And my cellie at the time was a young guy I had sold drugs with in the street, kind of talked to me, wiped my mouth, and, just try to help me take care of myself. And when I came out of it, I realized that I was wasting a gift, which was either my ability to communicate or my ability to
Mhm.
understand and talk to people. And I stopped playing with the mental health thing. and kind of used the rest of the time I was in there to kind of start better educating myself to help. And through that, I ended up getting what's considered a 4217 modification for exceptional rehabilitation because I started being helpful in the programs with, guys I ran the streets with or people that would come in that I could communicate with. So I kind of was like a trustee to an extent, but it kind of allowed me to catch the bug. And I would have all these visions when I was in, like, man, if I could take the empathy and the care that I can demonstrate when I know somebody has fallen short in life and administer that to care, then how impactful could I be? So that's kind of where I got the seed in my spirit to kind of do service work. And it was, I guess, the emphasis of me getting the ITIL for J2M Consulting. So I do training, counseling, and consulting around that work. But that's the short version of it.
So Eric, let me ask you this: when you started to make that transition while you were still incarcerated, what was the reaction of the people around you? Because they knew you one way, antagonizing, not taking things serious, and now becoming somebody who was focusing on their game. What was the reaction to you as you made the transition?
I got a lot of pushback. I guess it was received as me being less than authentic. Plus, at the time, I was in my late 20s, so it was like, I don't think we're used to a 20-something-year-old having a serious position in life. And I think as I was going through that transformation in there, people were struggling with me because it went from, and I'll give you an example. One day, man, a guy got news on a tier that I was on that his daughter got sexually assaulted, right? So I get wind of it and I go up there to talk to him, not really paying attention. I stepped into his doorway, and before I know it, I got pulled into the conversation and I ended up on the inside of his cell. They called an emergency count and I got locked in with the guy, which is basically off limits and it's a charge in jail, right? So when they're counting, they can't find me because I'm not in my right cell where I'm assigned. I come out and like, of course, I was getting a write-up and I had started my transition. And for me, it wasn't about the write-up. I really felt in my spirit I had dishonored the person that was working there, like the officer. And it was like, hey, man, I need to just really humble myself and apologize to this guy and get him to realize just because I'm in a fallen state, it don't mean that I can't be accountable for what I do. And it was like weird because as I'm trying to apologize to the officer, he's just looking at me like, what are you up to? And I'm like, I just want to sincerely say to you, I know I was wrong. I apologize for making your job difficult this evening. I'm more than aware that I'm going to get a write-up, but I don't want you to go home with the idea that I don't respect what you do or understand why you need to do it.
Wow.
So for that, I apologize. When you finish the write-up, I'll come back down and sign it. He just gave me this weird look, told me go up to my cell. We get towards the end of his shift. He hasn't called me. So, I'm banging on my cell door like, what's good? And he just waved me off like, nah, you good. You know what I mean? And it kind of started having this buzz like he different, but is it authentic? So again, I was getting a lot of pushback because I had came in joking, playing, being mean-spirited, poking fun at staff, stirring stuff up. And when I shifted away from it, it was almost like people were always telling me, you could be doing so much better with what you have, but you're not doing anything. And for me, it was a counselor that had German descendancy that said to me one day, if I never sold drugs again ever in my life, who would I be? And man, as deep as it sounds, I couldn't actually answer the question. Like I really couldn't give her an answer. Like if I never sell drugs, because in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna get me a better connect. I'm gonna come home and do what I do, and I'm gonna kill the streets. So it was like if I never sell drugs again, like, are you in my head? And it was the first time I realized that I wasn't really living a God-centered life or actually using any of my potential. I was cheating this gift called life, basically.
Wow, Eric, what a story.
That is a story. Man.
What a
We're going to turn it into a Lifetime movie, Eric.
No, cheating into existence, right?
It's a movie, I'm trying to tell you. Thank God we don't look like what we go through.
Yes.
No, that's right.
Yes. That's very true. Very true. So I'm very curious about how the mental health system, how effective is it in the prison systems, from your opinion?
So I think like most systems, and I eventually, which I skipped. So, and I guess I'll add it to this part. So, for me, I was a young man when I was in my 20s, and I had probably a teenager's approach to life, my mentality, my attitude, my presentation. So a lot of the mental health staff, even if it was just an anger or relationship joke group, considered me to be a joke because I didn't do nothing but play and joke all the time. Even though they knew I was inquisitive enough to kind of connect with whatever was going on. So for me, it was ineffective because the prison had my body, but every time I went to group, they never had my mind. Like, and I just started realizing one of the things about therapy, it doesn't matter how knowledgeable I am as a therapist. If I don't figure out how to best connect with people, then the reality is the knowledge that I can share doesn't have any power because they don't walk away with anything they can use. So, like, to me, the system has, of course, over time become trauma informed. Like, they didn't do any of that when I was in, and they've added other things that are in benefit of the person. But a lot of it comes down to, am I really invested in learning how? And like, to me, I look at it like, if I can't take care of myself, I don't have a prescription to be successful in life. So it's not just about I'll eventually have mental health challenges. I'm going to eventually break down, either my anger, my depression, sadness, something's going to get me. So it's like I literally work to educate both myself and other people about, hey man, what is your actual prescription of self-care so you can stay healthy? Because if you don't have a prescription, and whatever it is, whether it's working out, whether it's taking a walk, like I literally learned, I had so much trauma coming home from jail that I would literally have to go to Battery Park and literally take my shoes off and ground myself to the earth in order to calm down because I was just so overwhelmed by all the stuff I had missed when I was down. Like, it was only 6 years, but to me, the entire world changed. My family was different. My kids were different. I was different. So for me, again, J2M is born in, do we really understand the impact of seeing therapy from the perspective of what people experience versus just trying to give a prescription of what we think treats their anger, their depression, or ADHD? Like, what's really their symptomology? So
right, I totally agree, Eric. Totally agree with that. Absolutely.
So, Eric, I have a question. This is sort of personal. So tomorrow, I have a nephew who will be released from prison. He's been incarcerated for about 5 years this time. And so he's coming home tomorrow. What advice would you give me and my family on how to best support him as he transitions back into society?
So I'll tell you what I wish I had, and a lot of other people that come home wish they had. Instead of trying to do what you think he needs, ask him what he needs and study him to learn his needs. So, like, the reality is, we never think about when a person experiences trauma, if we actually pay attention, they'll teach us how to help him. So it's not about what he's doing, it's really about what he struggles to do, what he feels discomfort in, what he avoids. So, like, those things aren't always obvious because people aren't articulating them. And I'll give you a prime example. I didn't realize being in jail caused me to develop anxiety. And really, the anxiety was around, okay, now I'm home and everybody wants to celebrate me. But for the last 6 or 7 years, I've been sitting in a child hall with a bunch of men where you can't really have casual conversation, make good eye contact. Now, mind you, everybody's different. So for some people, that's not a thing. But for me, it was unnerving because it's like, you talking to me like I'm a test tube baby. Like, you got 101 questions. When the reality is, we need to learn to sit in the same space with family that comes home and allow them to acclimate themselves before we start jumping on, they need this, they need that, you should do this, you should do that. It's almost like give their time, give their brain and their body a chance to reacclimate. And like, if I was to ask a plain question, hey man, can you teach me and spend time with me so you can show me what I need to do to support you? That's all I would do.
Wow, that's good.
Okay, thank you. I definitely found that for tomorrow night.
That's good.
Man.
Yeah. See, this is why I like talking to you. This is why I like having you involved and talking to you because, again, your messaging is just so powerful. And I think it's so important, especially what you're sharing. And thank you again for sharing your story, the information, because it's a lot of people that, even if it's not them coming, if they didn't experience jail, prison, or it could just be anything. And their circumstances have beat them down so bad that they feel that they can't start new, that they can't have a new life, a successful life. And you're a walking testimony, and you're someone that says, yes, you can. And this is how you can do it. And this is how I did it, So it just gives hope for anybody that's out there that's watching this right now, that may have experienced something that, is making them feel like they can't succeed, or they can't create the life that they want, to be happy,
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that when we come home, people want to know our business, but they don't want to take the time to understand our pain. Like, until you can understand a person's pain, I guess the age-old adage, walk a mile in my shoes, but like, until you really understand a person's pain, you can't really help them. Like, and the thing about jail, I think that is so unique is you don't think it takes anything till you get home and you realize what you lacked. Then you realize something was taken from you emotionally, mentally, but you can't always put it into words.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I just want to give a shout out to our audience, everybody that's tuning in. Shout out to Donald Morton from Reman. What's up, Donald? He said, "What's up, fam?"
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Shay,
what's going on, brother?
Robinson. Yes, Shay said that's powerful. Yes, for sure. It's always powerful when Eric is talking.
Always, and I'll be there. Eric, thank you for the feedback, man. Because this is like the 4th time he's come home, and so we want to make this the last time.
Absolutely.
And try to figure out how to support him the best way we can, other than like just money and clothes and sneakers, like some real things that's gonna help propel him to where he needs to be. Not saying don't need those other things, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
but I'll say this too, because and it's not that my family did a poor job in supporting me. I don't think family's not always family when it comes to trauma. And we just know that to be true. And it's like, my family wanted better for me, but what was better if I can't even articulate what is better for me? So like, I can't put it into words. So, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes, man, it's like, I really just needed family to come sit with me, but I couldn't put it into words because the reality is, I can go to work, but the way that I go to work is, hey man, I could drive a car, but I don't got no license. So like me trying to go through all that mental schema, like, hey man, that's going to eventually get you stopped. So I don't really have anybody that's a guide or a litmus stick for that. And there are a lot of people that come home and we focus on what their deficits are instead of taking this strength-based approach and understanding it even takes skill to commit a crime. But like, we never look at it from that perspective. We focus on what the deficits are instead of what the strengths were that it took in order for them to do what they did.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I know that you are on this journey, just the healing for men, and I know it's for, it's not just men, but that's your focus. You're working with men and helping them heal. I love when I see our brothers come into therapy and reach out for therapy, because I know that's hard, right? And one of the first things I say, period, to all of my clients is, congratulations for taking that first step, for even making a phone call, right? Because that was big. Because that's just hard.
Yeah.
You know how many people that have told me how many times they picked up the phone to reach out to call and they put it down, or they waited a couple of months and then they finally did. So I celebrate even just picking up the phone to even make the call and say that I need therapy, right? So do you find in your work, more men being open to receive therapy, to talk, to get their healing?
I think that's kind of a difficult question to answer. I
Mm-hmm.
think men come to therapy with this idealized view of what therapy is and don't
Mm-hmm.
realize that therapy can be many things and many different things for many different people, right?
Right.
And case in point, just because I struggle with depression, and this is kind of what I tend to teach on, the prescription of how I treat Rashid in comparison to how I treat Chris is not supposed to be the same. And a lot of people run through a lot of therapy services not understanding how to show up for therapy. So what I find with men is when you build relationships with them, those
Mm-hmm.
relationships become sustainable enough for them to begin to hear information, understand application, and be the change engine that they need to be for themselves. I don't think
Yeah.
any man wants to be in darkness or
Yeah.
dysfunction. He just isn't accustomed to being guided by another man. Men are accustomed, most men, of being guided or seeking the counsel of women. So
Mm-hmm.
when they find a man who is a man, like, you know what I mean? Like, and there's just, you're authentic, you're genuine, and they know that they can kind of learn to trust in your information. Like one of the things I always talk about, hey man, I feel like I could trust you. Don't trust me. Test the information that I share with you. Because if you
Right.
trust me and the information don't work, then what's the point of trusting me? What you need is information that works. So like don't fall in love with me. Fall in love with this
Right.
information I got to
Yeah.
share. Because the
Yes.
information may sustain you even when the relationship we share, you may feel like I failed you. Information can't fail you. What
Mm.
will fail you is the application thereof.
Right. You better know. You better know.
We always come in hot, baby. Good
Woo!
stuff, man.
If it was a mic on, it's hot.
That's right. Oh my God. See, this is what we need up here.
Don't trust me, trust the information.
Trust the information. I love that. That's part.
Wow.
We need to. That's a T-shirt. That's the saying on the T-shirt.
But I mean, really, so when they educate us, they always talk about knowledge is power, right? So if
Right.
knowledge is power, but I can't apply my power, then I'm in
Right.
essence emotionally and mentally weak, right? So if I'm not mentally fit, it don't matter how big I build my body up because my strongest muscle got to be my mind. So
Yeah.
we'll focus on the outer shell, but we won't do nothing to do that mental fitness part.
Absolutely.
That is true.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I totally agree. Totally agree. Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
You got.
Yeah. So Eric, listen, we want to make sure we don't leave out anything. What do you have going on? Any upcoming events or anything that you are producing or going to be a part of? Let's shed some light on that, if so.
I believe, and I may not have the exact date. I know I'll be presenting at the Heath Conference on September 11th. I'll share the information with y'all after the broadcast. I just got confirmed for it, maybe yesterday. So I'll be
Okay.
at the Heath Conference. I am doing a series on cultural mental health through DSAM, but I want to say probably the only thing that's open right now is the Heath Conference. All the rest of them have been booked for a couple of weeks. So I'm doing that. Another thing I'm doing that if you want to just get some counseling around how to engage with people in the community that struggle with mental health or substance use disorders. I've been partnered with New Life Foundation, which is out of Newcastle, that is run by the Iaconis, Jennifer and Morgan Iaconi, rather. Sorry, I said their last names wrong. Jennifer and Morgan Iaconi. We've been doing since November 10 to 11 week series where we do addiction and mental health counseling for individuals and families where we offer free training. It's usually
Wow.
2 hour sessions. It runs over the course of 10 weeks. You can miss 2 weeks and still successfully complete the course. We'll be partnering with Dr. J's organization, which I can't remember off the top of my head next, but we partner with churches and we go in the community and offer that education because we realize helping to get our community fit is not only our responsibility, it's one of our greatest privileges.
Absolutely. How does one connect with you or follow you to receive all this great information going forward?
In about a week, I'll send it to you. I've been working on my website, so I'll be putting up a website in about a week or
All
week
right.
and a half. I have a government website, but I'll be putting up my personal website where you can either contact me for consultation, training, or counseling. So it's pretty much 3/4 of the way done. So I'll send you all the media information once I have it all up.
Absolutely.
And we will make sure, guys, that we also will post that, and so you guys have that information. Man, I'm so excited for you.
Absolutely.
Your new company. Oh, wait a minute, you forgot one event, the Myth now. They can also find you at the Rebirth Live.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want more of what you got from Eric tonight, come out October 26th, man.
Yeah, for sure. And we're definitely, as soon as you get everything up, however we can support, let us know, because we will definitely make sure that that's posted. Because I mean, you awesome. You're the truth. And I mean, every time I have a conversation with you, I walk away with something new, just something just like, okay. And I love that.
Yeah, the feeling's mutual. I love y'all. Love y'all energy. Love what y'all doing. Love what you do for the culture, the community. Man, you talked about when I met you. I think sometimes we are so impressed to be in the presence of other people, we don't understand the real blessing it is until we're absent from the people. So your two individuals, when it comes to this work, always come to my mind. I appreciate y'all being trailblazers, but more importantly, giving the voiceless a voice, because it's important. Like, you know what I mean? We don't always think about the number of men and women out here that have stories of value that can be empowering and inspirational for other people. So I just appreciate you for sharing your platform and giving me an audience to speak to those that you speak to as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, man. Appreciate those words. Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Wow. I look forward to October 26th. I know I will talk to you before then, but thank you so much for taking this time with us and speaking into our audience. And those of you that are listening, man, look, I'm telling you, if you don't feel inspired after this, if you don't feel inspired,
you don't have a pulse.
There is nothing. I don't care what it is. I don't care what has happened in your life. You can always start over. You can always start over.
Absolutely.
So we have to sometimes let go of the life that we thought we were supposed to have and embrace the life that God has for us. You understand? And I think that we all have that journey, those crossroads that we have, no matter what it is. Everybody, it looks different. Right. You have people that, Eric shared his experience about, being in prison and talked about what that system looks like. But you have people that never stepped inside of a prison, but they're in prison in their mind. They're in a mental prison. So no matter what it is that you're going through in life, you can renew, rebuild, and restore a new version of yourself. Absolutely. Eric, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Send me the information so I can get it out to our audience. And God bless you and your family. And thank you so much again.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate y'all.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You as well.
Guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. If you felt inspired by Eric's testimony, his story, please hit the heart button. Because it definitely inspired me.
Absolutely.
Make sure you share this information with somebody that probably needs to hear it. Okay? Share it on your page. Send it to somebody. Somebody needs to hear this. And I'm serious about it.
And as soon as we get Eric's info, we're gonna post it.
Yes.
Anybody who may need Eric's services, whether it be a keynote speaker or counseling services, we're gonna put that out there for you guys to be able to access that, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Yes, absolutely. So listen, guys, I know we talked about the Rebirth Live really quick, but Rebirth Live tickets are on sale now. They are on sale. You can go to rebirthu.com and get your ticket. And I will put this out there. Only until August 20th, you can get a discount. You can get your ticket for 15% off. When you go to rebirthu.com, put in the code LIVE, LIVE, okay? So go to rebirthu.com, get your ticket. When the tickets are sold out, that is going to be it. We are going to be at Theater Inn on October 26th, and you have met one of the panelists that's going to be there. Mr. Eric Robinson will be on the panel, and let me tell you, He spoke fire tonight. He gonna speak some fire on October 26th. So get ready, okay? Get ready.
Yes.
So Eli, thank you so much, man, for rocking out with me all the time. Thank you to my assistant and / producer that's behind the scenes for holding it down. You guys did an amazing job at the Rebirth Meetup. Shout out to Corey Wilkerson.
Yes, sir.
He did an amazing job at the Rebirth Meetup. And we just thank you, everybody who supports us every Monday night. Man, my heart is just full. It's full with the love. So thank you guys for tuning in, Eli.
Hey, man, y'all have a blessed week. And if the Lord say so, we'll see you in a week.
Absolutely. Peace.
Peace.